For years, the royal family has tried to distance the younger royals from the scandal that consumed Prince Andrew. The prevailing narrative was that the sins of the father shouldn't tarnish the children. But the ties between the York family and Jeffrey Epstein have proven difficult to escape, repeatedly pulling Princess Beatrice and her sister Eugenie into a spotlight they never asked for. For most of her adult life, Princess Beatrice has managed to stay on the periphery of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal that destroyed her father's royal career. But she hasn't escaped it entirely. She was thrust into the center of the drama in the most bizarre way imaginable, when her own father used her 12th birthday party at a Pizza Express as a public alibi against sexual assault allegations. And through her mother, Sarah Ferguson, the family's troubling connections to the disgraced financier have repeatedly come to light. Today, we're breaking down how Beatrice has become collateral damage in her parents' scandals and what it means for her future. The moment that truly dragged Beatrice's name into the affair came during Prince Andrew's disastrous 2019 Newsnight interview. When asked to account for his whereabouts on a night he was alleged to have been with Virginia Giuffre, Andrew offered a now infamous explanation. He was at a Pizza Express in Woking for a party for his daughter, Beatrice. He claimed to remember it distinctly because, as he put it, going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do. The alibi was widely ridiculed and did little to quell the controversy. More importantly, it unfairly made his daughter's childhood birthday a key point in a sordid international scandal. Later reports even claimed that Beatrice herself had absolutely no recollection of her father being at the party, casting further doubt on the alibi. For Beatrice, it was the first, and perhaps most glaring, example of being used as a shield by her own parent. Beatrice's other link to the scandal comes through her mother, Sarah Ferguson, whose relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was built on a foundation of financial desperation. It's known that Epstein helped Ferguson pay off a £15,000 debt. In a 2011 interview, Ferguson called accepting the money a gigantic error of judgment. However, leaked emails later painted a more complicated picture. In one message sent after she had publicly disowned him, Ferguson reportedly called Epstein a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend. The revelation of that email led to several charities cutting ties with her, including the Teenage Cancer Trust, where she had been a patron for nearly 30 years. A spokesperson for Ferguson later claimed the email was sent under duress after Epstein threatened to sue her. Emails released in early 2026 also revealed her asking Epstein for money for rent. More disturbing were crude comments she made about her daughter Eugenie in a 2010 email exchange with him. This pattern of behavior created a portrait of a woman in crisis, whose questionable friendship with Epstein has cast a long shadow over her daughters. For Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, the consequences have been a slow-burning public humiliation. They are not accused of any wrongdoing, but they are trapped by the actions of their parents. The situation is especially difficult for Eugenie, whose charity, the Anti-Slavery Collective, directly combats the very crimes Epstein was infamous for. The scandal has created a painful conflict between family loyalty and public perception. Reports have suggested the sisters are determined to remain loyal to their parents. Beatrice, in particular, finds herself in a precarious position as a non-working royal who still occasionally appears at official events. She has been forced to navigate the grim reality of her parents' choices while trying to protect her own role. Friends of the family have said the princesses are simply appalled at how close their parents were to such a man, leaving them to manage a devastating inheritance. The Epstein scandal has detonated in slow motion at the heart of the royal family. The crisis began with Prince Andrew, whose association with Epstein led to him being stripped of his military affiliations and royal patronages by Queen Elizabeth II in 2022. He was ultimately forced to defend the sexual assault civil case brought by Virginia Giuffre as a private citizen, which was settled out of court. In late 2025, King Charles III took the final step of stripping Andrew of his Duke of York title, and he is no longer to be styled His Royal Highness. These were unprecedented moves designed to protect the monarchy from the severe reputational damage he caused. Now, With Sarah Ferguson's troubling connections also in the spotlight, the crisis has completely engulfed the York family. This has reportedly left their cousin, Prince Harry, gutted for them, as Beatrice and Eugenie are two of the few royals who have maintained a close relationship with him since his move to the US. The central question facing the monarchy is how to manage the lingering stain that affects the entire institution. While sensational headlines have sometimes tried to imply Princess Beatrice's direct involvement, the verifiable evidence paints a more tragic picture. She was not a willing participant, but a young woman repeatedly caught in the toxic orbit of her parents' disastrous judgment. Her name was used in a desperate alibi by her father, and her family life was enmeshed with a convicted criminal through her mother's financial and personal turmoil. Beatrice and Eugenie are the collateral damage of their parents' catastrophic errors. They are left to navigate the fallout, caught between their loyalty to their family and the impossible task of distancing themselves from one of the darkest scandals of the modern era. The question isn't what they knew, but whether they can ever truly escape the shadow their parents have cast over their lives. What do you think this means for the future of the Yorks? Let us know in the comments below. And for more deep dives into the issues facing the monarchy, make sure to subscribe to our channel.